Hey there everybody, this is your pal Octo, and today I'm going to show you how to make dyes in ARK Survival Evolve. Now this is actually a pretty simple process. It looks tedious if you look up tutorials, but I'm going to lay it out for you in a few simple steps. First, you're going to need to get plenty of berries, so I would harvest these little ferns to get yourself plenty of berries of various kinds. You're going to need to mix them, and you're also going to need charcoal and spark powder. Now, you can get charcoal from burning wood. That's pretty easy. It's pretty much all over the place, but spark powder you do have to make with stone and flint in the mortar and pestle, which is something you have to learn and create with hide and stone. So once you've got yourself some spark powder, some charcoal, and the various berries, you can go ahead and start making yourself some dyes with those. You're also going to need to combine it with water, so you're going to have to fill up your water skin to more than 25% or so. So if you just fill it up all the way, that should be fine. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fill it up with water first. And I suggest always having a couple of them because it's annoying to go back and forth with just one. Okay, perfect. Now we got about 4 of those bad boys filled up. I'm going to go into my cooking pot. Now the cooking pot is essential. You can do this in an industrial cooker as well, but an industrial cooker is far more expensive and harder to build. So I suggest if you want to do dyes, just make yourself a nice little cooking pot. It doesn't even take metal. It's mostly just stone, wood, thatch, and maybe flint, I believe. So we'll go inside. And I want to note that I'm using thatch to burn. It's clean burning and does not leave behind charcoal instead of wood, which does leave behind charcoal. And the reason for that is that charcoal creates different kinds of dyes. So say you wanted a darker colored dye instead of a lighter colored dye, you would use charcoal. And so if the charcoal gets mixed in, it might create the wrong dye color. So we're going to use a clean burning fuel such as thatch. So make sure you got plenty of thatch. And we're just going to put in all the waters here. Just like that. That shouldn't be any problem. And finally, we are going to put in the berries as we wish. Now, you can put in all the berries at once and hope it just makes the colors you want, but I would suggest being methodical about it. You can check out the wiki page for ARK's dye table. It's a whole bunch of colors, maybe, I don't know, 16, 20 colors, and it'll tell you exactly how many ingredients you need to put in to make each color of dye. Otherwise you're just going to be fumbling around in the dark. I'll link that in the description below, but for now I'm just going to go through a few of the quick basic ones if you don't care to look and you just want to watch the video. So the easiest one to do is black. Of course, you're going to need 15 narco berries, the black ones here, 15 blackberries, and you're going to need 2 charcoal. So we're going to drop those bad boys in. And you can see there I put in exactly 2 charcoal just so I don't have any left over, and it doesn't matter how many narco berries I put in because I can bring them out. And we're going to light the fire, and you'll see right here it'll take up 1 of the waters, 15 of the narco berries, and 2 of the charcoals to make us a black dye. This will take a few seconds. It's actually not, oh, that was quicker than I was used to. And there you go, you got 5 black dyes. It's actually pretty resourceful. 5 dyes is not bad. So we're going to go ahead and take that, and we're going to work on the next one, which will be white. White's pretty straightforward. It's the same thing except you use spark powder, 2 spark powders, or I'm sorry, 2 charcoals, and 15 stem berries. Let's take this out. Put in our stem berries. Put in our 2 charcoals, and wait for it to go ahead and make us some white dye. And it should be finishing. There we go. Perfect. Now we got white and black, and we're also going to make ourselves some red. So red is very simple as well. Let me take out these guys here. Alright, and for red we're just going to put in 15 of the red berries, the tinto berries, and 2 of the charcoal. You'll start to see a pattern here. Wait for that. And then we're also going to do one of the ingredients, one of the recipes that requires the spark powder ingredient. You'll notice some of them actually require gunpowder as well, but those are more like off-colored dyes. So if you want to use the gunpowder, that's fine. You're going to have to learn that and make that as well. But usually you can make them all with charcoal and maybe spark powder. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and take that. And the last one we're going to make has some spark powder. So let me see. Let me pick one that has spark powder in it. We're going to make ourselves brick. Brick will work. Brick is kind of like a darker red. If you've ever seen a brick before, you know what I'm talking about. So we're going to put in 6 narco berries and 12 tinto berries. Since we already really have that there, that's fine. And we're also going to throw in one of our spark powders. We should be able to do that. You'll see if actually we'll put in 2, and it should automatically. Oh well, we don't have the water for it. But if there was water, it would make both of them, since we have enough for 2 dyes here. But that about covers it. You can make all the rest of the dye colors. There's ones like magenta or forest green, cantaloupe, royalty, purple, parchment, orange, olive, you know, navy, blue. You've got the whole set, right? So you can pretty much make any color you need, and worst comes to worst, you could just get as close as you want. So we're going to also paint something so you can see how it really works. So let me stop this here. Take out my junk. Perfect. And if you have the engram for the paintbrush, or if you're really advanced, you can get yourself the spray painter, which allows you to just spray paint a lot of things at once, but we're just going to do one at a time. So grab ourselves the paintbrush here and put it on our hotbar. Right there. And say I want to paint the insides a lovely dark black color. So we just drag that over and boom, black on the paintbrush. You also see that when I drag the black dye over some of the items, things like melee weapons and things you hold in your hand, also armor as well, even though I'm not wearing any, you can see I can go ahead and paint it. So let's use some of our red dye here, and we'll go ahead and paint our pike. So you can see the preview is not coming up, maybe it's lag or something like that, but I'll go ahead and paint the whole thing and show you what it looks like. Let's click that apply paint. The different regions, the different spots on it, if you've got the preview, it'll show you what it looks like. Otherwise it's sort of a guessing game. So you can see now it may be a little small, but the thumbnail shows a little red. So we'll pull that bad boy out, hold on. You can see it's actually red now. Isn't that pretty neat? You could also do this to your armor, leather, metal, all of it. It all works. It looks really cool, as a matter of fact. One of my favorite parts of this game. Very customizable. That's what I love about it. Here we go. We're going to go ahead and paint, say, our walls. You can paint pretty much any structure piece. So let's paint this first. Just go ahead and hit it with the paintbrush while it's got the paint on it. And we'll go ahead and select the regions. To be honest, I'm not sure what paints what, so we're just going to go ahead and gamble and paint the whole thing black. Oh, that looks nice. So far, so good. Okay, and you can see it doesn't take an entire dye per region, it just takes a little bit of the paint off your paintbrush, so one dye should get you plenty of painting. You see I've only used the one black dye so far, but I'm painting multiple regions here. And I mean, it doesn't look that impressive, but when you've got metal, it'll actually look really wonderful. You can see it's a little darker on the outside. If you have metal, say you paint it red or something, you can get pretty authentic looking colors, pretty vibrant colors. On wood, it's kind of toned down a little bit, you know. The wood kind of shows through. And that's pretty much all there is to dyes. Like I said, if you want to paint quickly, you could also get yourself a spray painter and just spray paint the whole thing as you go along. That's a higher level engram. And that's it, folks. If you liked the video, be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll be more than happy to answer you. Have a good one.